Good day, sir. I am Johaira Alo. Together with the group, we are going to discuss the Informix Software. Informix Software was a software company which sold database products, desktop software, and development tools, and information integration products. So let's discuss first the history of the Informix. Informix is a relational database management system or DBMS from IBM that runs on a variety of Unix platforms. Originally developed by Informix Software, Menlo Park, CA, the product was acquired by IBM in 2001. Informix Dynamic Server or IDS is a venerable database management system that includes a comprehensive variety of application development tools including Informix 4GL and Informix SQL. Informix Corporation's originally named Relational Database System Incorporated was created in 1980 by Roger Sipple. In 1986, the company changed its name to Informix Corporation and went public, raising $9 million. In 1989, Philip E. White took over as chief executive. In 1996, Informix acquired Illustra Information Technologies, an object or relational database company. In 1997, Informix was racked by charges of accounting fraud and illegal insider trading. In 2001, Informix sold its database subsidiary, Informix Software, to IBM and renamed itself Essential Software. In 2005, IBM acquires the last bit of Informix Essential Software. In 2017, IBM and HCL entered into a 15-year intellectual property license for Informix.
Good day everyone, I am Ron G.V. Dunlayan and I'm going to report about what is the software or the IBM. IBM software solution feature the latest emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning applied in innovative ways to address top business concerns. It is It is also equipped to investigate new technologies and future-proof of enterprises and discover how you can solve your challenges around security, big data, content personalization, and more. It is also used in flexibility. The IBM software adapts to your needs, helping you increase business agility. It is also robust, or the analytics capabilities inform business decisions, driving better experiences, and it is also efficient. It is also improved collaboration, boosts employee productivity, resulting in cost saving. It is also a data that you can trust. The confident decision require reliable data or the and it can also help you plan your next big move based on actionable data intelligence. And it is also personalized and engaged. The IBM has the software you need to tailor customer experiences across multiple channels. And it also makes security your top priority. In this age of rampant cybercrime, digital security must be a primary focus for every enterprise. The IBM security software will help you prepare for the threats of tomorrow while protecting your business from today's cybercriminals. And IBM helps your team respond quickly. Whether you call it a software computer, a cognitive computing system, or simply a question answering matching system. And it's also IBM Watson is perhaps the most well-known example of artificial intelligence in use today. Who uses the IBM software? There are a number of parameters that an administrator can define for a user profile, including a number of security-related attributes. and it's also a description of a few important security attributes of the user profile are as follows. Special authority. Special authorities determine whether the user is allowed to perform system functions such as creating user profiles or changing the jobs of other users. The initial menu or initial program. The initial menu and program determine what the user sees after signing on the system. You can limit a user to a specific set of tasks by restricting the user to an initial menu. The limit capabilities. The limit capabilities field in the user profile determines whether the user can enter commands and change the initial menu or initial program when signing on. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I am Marin Eslapuag, and I will be discussing about the key features of Informix and specialization. First, the key features of Informix software is it is real-time analytics, which means the single Informix platform helps you power transactional workloads easily in a wide range of environments to enable analytics-driven insights quickly. The second one is fewer data management hassles. This feature, Informix Softwares, offers easy development features like smart triggers that implement event-driven processing and database push notifications with no schemas changes. Um, this allows you to automate your data management and focus on your core business. The third one is it is fast, always on transactions. To support mission critical environments, Informix includes high availability data replication, remote secondary standby database servers, and shared disk secondary servers. The flexible grid feature also enables rolling upgrades with no outages. The last one is simplicity. With a silent installation and small footprint that requires just 100 MB of memory, Informix is simple and non-disruptive. Self-managing capabilities make it ideal as an embedded data management solution. Informix can be up running in minutes also. The following are the Informix software specialization. The following are the Informix software specialization. The first one is installation. You install Informix and client tools with a simple installation program. After a typical installation, the server is created, configured, and started. You can also perform a silent or a custom installation of Informix. The second one is virtual images. The Hypervisor edition is optimized for cloud virtualization environments and comes with an operating system. You can download IBM Informix virtual appliance if you want a pre-configured virtual desktop environment. The Informix virtual appliance runs either locally on your host computer or remotely on a cloud or VMware infrastructure environment. The third one is database design. In Informix software, you can design relational databases that support online transaction processing applications. Informix support ANSI databases and complies with industry standards for the SQL language. The next one is administration. You figure the database server by the setting configuration parameters in the unconfig file and by setting environment variable. You administer Informix with auth or with command line utilities and SQL statements. You can tune the performance of Informix by configuring memory, management, parallelization, and query optimization. You can back up and restore data. You can update the server configuration while the server is online. Many common administration tasks are scheduled to run automate almost every other administrative task. You can also configure alarms to alert your problems. You can configure duplicate servers for continuous availability and load balancing by setting up high availability clusters. The next one is data replication. You can replicate the data that you want between heterogeneous servers by configuring enterprise replication. You can also propagate SQL statements and files between servers. The next one is embedding Informix. You can easily embed Informix in your application. You can use command line, utilities, and SQL statements to script every aspect of database server administration. You can create a fully configured snapshot of your database server environment and deploy it to many computers. The next one is embedding Informix. You can easily embed Informix in your application. You can use command line, utilities, and SQL statements to script every aspect of database server administration. You can create a fully configured snapshot of your database server environment and deploy it to many computers. That would be all. Thank you.
Now let us proceed on the procedures and how to create a simple Informix database server. So first, log on to the database server as user root. So if your database server is the same as your installation machine, you are logged in already as root. Second, if your database server is not the same as your installed computer, you must run configuration and change management. Third, create a directory for the Informix database space or chunk files. When you create chunk files, keep in mind the following. The Informix server limits the size and offsets of each chunk file to 2 GB. To work around these limits, break up your raw devices into many partitions of 2 GB. Place the chunk files where no one can remove them. If chunk files are moved, the database server will no longer work and it might lose data. Next, create the chunk file directory on the computer where the Informix server runs. Chunk files must not be on network file systems. For the best performance and reliability, use raw partitions for Informix chunk files. If file system corruption occurs, cooked files are affected, but raw files are not. The names of your chunk file paths must be fewer than 66 characters. Fourth, create a directory for the rational synergy databases. Note, to avoid losing files, when you upgrade, do not put database directory under the installation directory. Last, create the database server. If you have already planned specific partitions and sizes, use these paths and sizes to respond to the prompts. If you have not planned specific partitions and sizes, use the Informix chunk files directory when prompted. For the primary chunk path for the root database space, use the defaults for everything else except the numbers of users. Set the numbers of users to the expected number of simultaneous users of all databases on this server, rounded up to the nearest 10. Informix can be downloaded or runs on most systems that have a Unix, Linux, or Windows operating system, as well as the Mac OS X operating system. Minimum disk space and memory requirements are the following. For Unix and Linux, 750 MB of disk space and 256 MB of memory. For Mac OS X, 750 MB of disk stop and 512 MB of memory. For Windows, 600 MB of disk space and 256 MB of memory.